La Excellence is extremely happy to announce its anthropology test series. Anthropology is one of the most important disciplines within the UPSC system, and unfortunately it is not taught very well across coaching centers, really across the country. This is primarily because it is not usually taught by anthropologists, and it is not taken seriously as a discipline by the faculty teaching it. We hope to change this at La Excellence, and our first step in that direction is to build a team of young anthropology students, young anthropology scholars, who actually will be conducting the test series in anthropology as an optional paper at La Excellence. Before anything else, it is important to note that anthropology is closely related as an optional paper to the question of statecraft and to the question of engaging with the state. Because if you look at the history of anthropology in India, it is anthropologists really who worked with the state to produce the categories of SC and ST, to produce what we call the Fifth Schedule, to produce the 73rd Amendment. For example, one of the recent reports that the government instituted to actually look at the conditions of tribals was called the Kaka Committee Report. Now, who is Kaka? Kaka is Professor Virginius Kaka, who's an anthropologist who has a long and distinguished career in Delhi, subsequently in TIS Guwahati, and is now Emeritus Professor at the University of Tezpur in Assam. So you can see the close connection between anthropologists and the state. In fact, we are happy to announce that as part of our guest faculty, which we will be inviting when we offer anthropology as a full-scale discipline later this year, Professor Virginius Kaka has kindly agreed to come and give a series of lectures to the students, partly because he sees the importance of this engagement between anthropology as an academic discipline and the state. But as I said, what we are beginning with is the anthropology test series. And what I'm going to do today is to introduce you to our team, to our young and very dynamic team, who are going to help you with offering you question papers, offering you notes and materials, correcting your question papers, and offering you one-to-one supervision. What is also remarkable about this team is that they will actually be helping you in areas of their own expertise. These areas of expertise match the areas of expertise in the anthropology syllabus in both anthropology papers. So without further ado, let me introduce our team to you. The first person on our team is Mr. Arvind Krishnan. Arvind has finished his MA in Social Anthropology at the University of Hyderabad with minors in Physical Anthropology and Archaeology. His areas of interest are Social Anthropology, Economic Anthropology, Political Anthropology, Physical Anthropology, Archaeology, and his recent interest is in Ecological Anthropology. He is going to be an extremely important part of our anthropology test series team, and you will benefit a lot from his expertise and his research interests. He was hoping to now develop a research career in one of these fields. Our next team member is Ms. Gitanjali Joshua. Gitanjali is about to finish a PhD in sociology at the University of Hyderabad. Her PhD work is on the question of marriage, and therefore her areas of interest and expertise are in fact some of the most difficult topics within anthropology. They seem easy, but they are not, namely kinship, marriage, family. And she will be contributing to your materials in these areas, which also happen to be her areas of expertise. Next team member is Dr. Charu Mujumdar. He is a PhD in Social and Medical Anthropology from the University of Hyderabad's Anthropology Department. His areas of interest are tribal anthropology and medical anthropology. His own PhD was on the Adivasi community within Telangana, and he therefore is well placed to help you with tribal anthropology. Our next team member is Ms. Firdos Soni. Ms. Firdos Soni is a PhD student at the Department of Sociology at the University of Hyderabad, and she is currently doing fieldwork for her PhD on a particular, what can be called a community and religious festival in Maharashtra. Her areas of interest are therefore anthropology of religion. She is also very interested in questions of gender, questions of caste, questions of social movements. So, another very important set of areas in the anthropology syllabus. Our next team member, we are delighted to let you know, is Ashish Kaka. Ashish Kaka happens to be the son of Professor Virginius Kaka, whom we've just been talking about. He is doing his PhD at the Tata Institute of Social Sciences in Mumbai, and his areas of interest are tribal anthropology, development and all the thorny and difficult questions around development, a very important topic in the anthropology syllabus, and urbanization. And he will be well equipped and well placed to help you with these topics as part of the anthropology test series team. Our next team member is Ms. Nadia. Nadia has an MA in archaeology from the University of Bristol in the UK, and her interests are primarily historical archaeology, and she will help us with the archaeology sections of your syllabus. Our next team member is Mr. Shubhadeep Kumar. Shubhadeep has just completed or is about to complete his PhD at the Center for the Study of Indian Diaspora at the University of Hyderabad. His areas of interest are anthropological theories, a difficult topic which he is very well equipped to handle, race and racism, epidemiology, the anthropology of health, culture, and the introduction to anthropology. His is a cross-disciplinary PhD. He has worked with cultural studies and literature before, and then moved to looking at 19th century theories of race in India, which led him to a deep and abiding interest and engagement with anthropology. Our next team member is Alex O'Connell. Alex O'Connell is a PhD student in the Department of Anthropology at the National University of Ireland in Maynooth. He's doing a fascinating PhD on the relationship between Catholic fundamentalism in Northern Ireland. As you know, there is a serious amount of political strife, has been historically, but certainly in the last few decades, between the Catholics and the Protestants in Northern Ireland, and looking at Hindu fundamentalism in India. So it's a wonderful comparative study, which means that not only is Alex an authority on Ireland, he is also an authority on India, has spent much time doing fieldwork here, and has been teaching for the last several years. And one of the main areas he's been teaching is another very important area in the two anthropology papers, or to understand both papers, which is research methodology. But he is also, given his PhD topic, perfectly equipped to teach the anthropology of religion. Our next team member is Mr. Gohar Fazili. Gohar has just submitted his PhD at the Department of Sociology, one of the best departments in the country, at Delhi University, also known as the Delhi School of Economics. His areas of interest, his work was on Kashmir, and it's a multi-sited ethnography or multidisciplinary ethnography looking at various aspects of the conflict in Kashmir. And his areas of interest include ethnicity, political anthropology, the nature of society, and the nature of culture, all topics in the syllabus to which he will bring a unique perspective and will also give you feedback and one-to-one supervision on your writing in these areas. Our next team member is Dr. Salah Punatil. Salah is an assistant professor at the Center for Regional Studies at the University of Hyderabad. His PhD was a fascinating anthropological study of a Muslim community in the Malabar in Kerala, and his areas of interest are the sociology of violence, or even the anthropology of violence, and the anthropology of religion. And that brings us to the last faculty member, in some sense a full-timer at La Excellence, which is yours truly, Dr. Ashley Tellis, with a PhD from the Faculty of English at the University of Cambridge. I did anthropology and sociology as part of my undergraduate degree and have kept in touch with those two disciplines not least through my engagement with gender studies, which was mainly through my postdoctoral research as a Rockefeller Residency Fellow at the University of Arizona in Tucson in 2003, but also through my PhD, which was on women's poetry, and my other research, which is on Dalit autobiography in Maharashtra and the LGBT community in India. My areas of interest, since I'm not strictly speaking an anthropologist, will be the relationship of anthropology with other disciplines, which is a topic in your anthropology syllabus, looking at the main branches of anthropology, looking at culture, language, and communication, which are both my areas of interest and expertise, applications of anthropology, and the emergence and growth of anthropology in India, which I find fascinating, because actually if you think about anthropology in India, it has a global history which actually makes anthropology one of the most interesting disciplines to look at. If you look at the footnotes, for example, of one of the most brilliant anthropologists in the world, the French anthropologist Claude Lévi-Strauss, you will see that all his footnotes in that book, The Elementary Structures of Kinship, which is one of the foundational texts of anthropology, come from India. They come from the British colonial administrators actually in their spare time doing something like ethnography or something like an ethnology, which is a study of these strange communities around them. And Claude Lévi-Strauss uses that material to actually build his book. So from that history to the history I started this video with, which is the history of the engagement between anthropologists and the Indian state in how to deal with the almost 9% of indigenous population in our country, I think anthropology is a wonderful discipline, and I am sure you, along with our team at La Excellence, are going to really enjoy this anthropology test series that begins next week. Thank you.